Hello, and welcome to the online GT Math Curriculum Night. I'm Mr. Grant Kuhneman, and this is,
Miss Jackie Baxter.
and we're going to walk you through the expectations for the students enrolled or participating in 3rd and 4th grade GT Math at Lovejoy, Puster, and Hart Elementary School. I will begin each day at Puster Elementary with a 4th grade class from 8:15 to 9:45. I then see 3rd grade at Puster from 10:30 to 12. I will then travel to Lovejoy to see a 3rd grade group from 12:45 to 2:15, and then I have my conference time from 2:15 to 3.
Mrs. Baxter's day starts at Hart, where I have 3rd graders from 8:05 until 9:40. I then travel to Lovejoy for my 4th grade group there from 10:10 until 11:40. I end my day back at Hart with the 4th graders from 12:45 until 2:15, and I have my conference time at the end of the day at Hart.
All right, so the big question we're going to address here is, what is GT Math? And GT Math in the Lovejoy district is a class for students who have shown an aptitude for mathematics, and we focus on the talented aspect of that by addressing their needs through an accelerated curriculum. In other words, in 3rd grade, we're going to cover all of 3rd grade math, plus about half or a little more than half of 4th grade. Our 4th graders are going to be completing that other half of 4th grade as well as most of 5th grade. So we focus on moving quickly without a lot of repetition. We move at an accelerated, rapid pace. But we also want to work efficiently and really focus on the deeper thinking involved in problem solving. In other words, not just learning the skills, but learning a deeper application of those skills.
We'd like to talk a little bit about expectations and classwork in our GT Math classrooms. One of the biggest things we work on in class on a daily basis is problem solving. We're really trying to have our students build a solid understanding of their math concepts and skills, but then to take them and apply them to different learning situations. We do this in a variety of ways. Oftentimes we work with manipulatives, hands-on tools of math. It might be things such as working with money or pattern blocks or place value blocks. We also like to do a lot of partnering within class for students to share their thinking with one another and get multiple perspectives on how other people have approached and solved problems. While students are working in class, we are oftentimes facilitating their learning. We're walking around asking questions, looking over their shoulders and watching what they're doing and asking them to clarify what it is that they're doing and to share their understanding. We will at times ask students if we can videotape them or record them as they're thinking through different types of problems. We may ask partners to think about a problem and then solve it on their own, and after a while share it and with one another, and then elaborate more with their think, pair, and share. We like to have students build upon one another's understanding on a daily basis within the classroom. When looking at students' classwork, we ask them to usually complete an independent assignment in class. Maybe not every day, but oftentimes within a 2-day time frame, we would have some sort of assignment that is due to us. If students don't complete classwork in the given time, they are allowed to take assignments home and complete and return them. If it's something done through Google Drive, they can access that from home and complete the work electronically. We also often offer some open door sessions where students have extra time to come in and complete assignments. We will talk about those later in our presentation. Let's talk about everyone's favorite, homework. Yes, we do have homework in GT Math. One of our main reasons for doing this is to provide students the practice and to get in the habit of having assignments due, because when they get into 5th and 6th grade, homework is pretty much a nightly occurrence within the GT Math classroom. However, we won't give homework every night. 3rd graders get homework every Friday, and they're given a week to complete it, so it's due the following Friday. 4th graders are given assignments on Tuesdays, and they also have a week to complete and return the work the following Tuesday. There are some things that will be consistent with the homework that we send home. One of the main things we're looking at is we're asking our students to do some problem solving that involves stretching their thinking. Sometimes this problem solving is pretty difficult, and your child may run into some frustrating moments. We want that because we do want students to be able to work through a struggle no matter how uncomfortable it makes them feel. It is okay, though, for your child to get started on something, to give a fair attempt at solving it, and to not be able to finish it. That's okay. I know we want to always run in and help our child with problems like that, but you may ask your child a question or two to get them started, but don't feel the need to complete the work for them. They need to be able to talk about what they've done, and it's okay if they were not able to finish the problem. We also like to spiral some of the things that we have taught in class to keep those skills sharp and fresh with our students. We do spend the time going over homework in class, and we actually spend a good amount of time talking about the stretch your thinking problems in particular. We want different perspectives on how people were able to solve those problems, and it's pretty amazing some of the things that we hear our students share in class. We also do use the homework as a work habits grade, so it's something that is reflected in their report card each 9 weeks.
A typical day in the GT Math classroom will include 2 to 4 of the following items. Often we'll have a problem of the day or some type of warm-up ready for them when they come in to get their brains going, to get possibly some interaction going between the students and some thinking being shared, and then we'll come together and discuss the results of that problem solving and look at a few different perspectives on how the problems were solved. Then we'll generally move into the lesson where we state our objectives and our learning goals, and we'll have an introductory lesson to the concept, and then the students will have an opportunity to apply the skills that we've learned, what we've discussed in a problem-solving situation, often in partners or in groups. And every day or every other day, we'll have an independent practice in which they will be able to demonstrate their mastery or developing mastery of the topics of our learning goals and the topics in which we are studying currently. A major focus in the GT Math curriculum is the emphasis on problem solving. And problem solving can look like many different things in our rooms. It can be the guided practice that we use to start off a class or a problem of the day. It can be the way in which we think, pair, share about those problems of the day, in which the students think about the information independently, then they partner up with somebody to share their ideas, and then we share that with the class, so we get to see everybody's perspective or the different ways in which problem solving can take place. We also expand on the depth and complexity icons and build our mathematician tool belts by focusing on specific problem-solving strategies and applying them to specific problems. We also use anchor activities periodically to gauge the students' ability to apply their different problem-solving strategies to a certain problem-solving situation. And we use Math Olympiads and slip problems, which are non-routine, very challenging problems where the solution is not always obvious, and there are many different ways which you could approach the solving of said problems. And we also do the Noetic Learning Competition, which we will do twice a year, once in the fall and once in the spring.
There are many ways we will look at your child as they're working within our math classrooms, and we will report progress in several different ways. A new addition this year will be using our Google Drive to store and save different information that our students are working on. So at times they may have an assignment that has been sent to them, and they are expected to complete that assignment within the Google Drive. It's a file then that we can access and provide instantaneous feedback to our students for improving or clarifying the thinking they have on their papers. We also use binders that go home once a week, and in the binders you'll find samples of independent work that your child has done in class, and we also use our math notebooks and problem solvers notebooks on a regular basis, so that's an additional source of information that we use when looking at how a student is doing within the classroom. Of course, we'll also use emails, or we'll call you if your child is having a difficulty doing a certain skill in class, or if there's something that they need additional work in to bolster up that skill. Of course, we'll continue to have progress reports sent home midway through each 9 weeks, as well as report cards once each 9 weeks. Students that are on probation, we do continue to monitor those students closely to be sure that the GT Math Room really is a good fit for your child, and we will keep you updated with information if we are seeing some areas of difficulty or if we're concerned with something going on with your child.
One of the events in which our students will participate in order to apply and sharpen their problem-solving skills is the Noetic Learning Competition. This is an event held in the fall and spring semesters, November in the fall, April in the spring, in which the students will have a limited amount of time to solve a given number of problems. Those results will then be scored and calculated and compared against the results of students nationwide, and there will be awards that will be given to the class, including medals for the class winners and those who rank high enough to be compared with the best scores nationwide.
As you well know, your child receives a report card every 9 weeks. In Lovejoy, we use a standards-based report card, which compares how your child is working against the standards or the TEKS that we teach in our GT classroom. If your child receives 2 or more N's in the math section on the report card in a quarter, they will be placed on academic probation for the GT classroom. If that is the case, your child's teacher would contact you and would have contacted you ahead of time to let you know that your child is struggling. We hold conferences in the fall, and usually if your child is in both integrated studies and math, the GT teachers will coordinate the meeting so we can both sit in with you to discuss your child's progress through the year. If your child is just in math, we are likely to contact you to try and schedule a time to meet with the child's homeroom teacher, or we can just meet one-on-one at a time that works for both of you. In the spring, conferences are optional. If you feel you would like to have a conference, we will be more than glad to set them up with you. If at any time during the year you need to contact us and sit down with us regarding your child's progress, just send us an email. We'll be glad to sit down with you and talk about your child.
The tutoring opportunities for the GT Math students are what we call our open door hours, and these are the times listed in which if a student has a question or a problem that they need help with, or if they needed to finish an assignment in class that they weren't able to complete, they can come on in and get that done in these times. It might also be a time in which we'll ask students to come in because we feel like they need a little extra help or work on a specific concept. We do ask if your child wants to stay or needs to stay for an open door session, that we get an email so we know that they're going to be staying and we'll be ready for them. And if we need them to stay for a specific reason, we will do the same. We'll email you and ask if they're able to stay at this time and let you know about that.
We hope we've answered most of your questions about the GT Math year for your child. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us. Our emails are included here for your convenience. Thank you.